Hey YouTube, we got another 5-2 game going here against matissmitenieks, I guess is what that is. I'm not sure. I don't recognize the flag either. It is Latvia. I see. Maybe I should have let him play white. He could play the Latvian Gambit. Instead, we have a Stonewall Dutch. And I've already annoyingly committed my knight to c3, which is not what I wanted to do in the Dutch. However, this must be a poor move order then. There's got to be some reason why this is not a hot idea. We only have to figure out why. Why? Well, I can't waste too much time on it. So we'll just play it as if it were a Dutch. And fianchetto the bishop. Okay, I'm going to play here so I don't have to mess with losing this pawn. Come up to here. Okay. Remember my last blog, I said I didn't understand why the knight went to h3, but I think that I have a pretty good reason there since he put the bishop here. We're just going to go here and try to trade off the dark square bishops. I think that we would be successful in this. Okay. Interesting. Well, I don't really want to trade knights just yet. My knight is indeed hanging. I could take his bishop, but then he takes my knight, and then I have to play queen c2. He'd probably play knight back, and then I get to keep my dark square bishop. That doesn't seem so awful, but if I take here, he takes here, I play c2, he desperados on e2 or even a2, and then after something, yeah, I don't think I can just afford to take. I think I got to play queen c2. I don't think he wants to take my bishop because he doesn't want to help me develop my knight. Not what he wants to do. Annoying. Looks like that I'll be dropping the bishop, or excuse me. Man, don't care for this. But okay, I think that's forced. Now the queen comes. I'm going to drop this pawn. Well, maybe not. I suspect the queen does come a5. And then I'll play rook c1. Perhaps he captures on d2. I take with the queen, and then he plays queen out to a5. Maybe I needed to take the knight on e4. So if he plays queen a5, I think I do have to take on e4. I think that's what will happen instead of rook c1. Alright, so he does it this way. Makes some sense. And I expect queen a5 to follow. But I'm actually not losing a pawn on e2 this way, though. Oh yeah, usually you lose the pawn on a2 when they have this kind of pressure, when this pawn's still on b2. Okay. But it's not there, so I won't be dropping the pawn this time. At least not yet, anyway. He no longer has this really nice knight on e5. He's traded it for my dark square bishop. In return, he's got this annoying pen. I think he probably wants more than that out of his knight on e4. Unless he's going to go get another one. I've got 2 moves to unpin this guy before he goes here and then here. So let's just castle. And then we'll play, okay, queen back to c2. Then we can do something a little different with that knight. Maybe we'll play it to a4, maybe gonna go to c5, he captures. Oh, because this guy is a problem. Tis. Wow. Hammered here. Maybe I should have done queen d3. Maybe, oh. Ugly. I don't really want to. I don't really want to drop this pawn. I want to take here, because then he takes here, and I guess I have the b file. Do something with that, maybe. Probably not, though. Think about playing a3. Doesn't look good. Also thinking about playing e3. e3, he takes here. I take back. Maybe I play here and go after this guy. And yeah, let's try something like that. I think this pawn is more important. I'm losing a pawn either way. And I think this pawn's more important than that pawn. So I expect him to take here now. We'll go ahead and pre-move that. And he does. So we got to make something happen on the B file. Well, we got to move the queen first. Or we're going to capture. I don't think we're going to capture. I think we're going to move the queen. B3? Yeah, let's go here just because it's... I don't have to worry about the knight attacking it, and it's kind of... It's lined up with the king, which may induce him to... Okay. I feel like that I should just go all aggressive and play e4. Try to expose his king side, but then... Yeah, I'm not worried about him playing g4 because that gives me the f4 square back. Let's play e4. Just try to open things up. Okay. I take his knight's way better than mine. Let's do this. I think this is better than what I had. I'm not saying it's good, but it's better than what I had, for certain. I don't think he wants to take with the c pawn, but I think he's a little bit scared of taking with the e pawn. So I think maybe he will play. Maybe he will play c takes. And I can push my rooks on the e and c files pretty quickly. Ooh. Didn't anticipate that one. Well, I do not want to trade queens there. So we're going to go here. Okay. Well, that seems like that may have been a bad thing. So now you've got to do... You don't do anything if I do that. Let's go. Let's make a move. I'll make this one, just to tickle the bishop a little bit. Just to tickle the bishop. Okay, we'll go here to go after this one. You can have this guy. I mean, I don't have time to be worrying about pawns. With only 35 seconds and I'm down material. Okay. So I think maybe I can get this guy now. I stand a good chance of it. He probably has to play queen to d6. No, he does not. So let's do this, and maybe we'll come into c7. Of course, he's just going to put a rook in the way now, though. Didn't expect that. Take it. Let's see here. Whoa! That was a it was a mouse slip, and I was not even punished for it. How nice of the guy. I meant to play queen c7, though I don't know why. Well, let's just go take a pawn. I might win this guy. If I do, then I'm actually okay-ish. Yeah, I think I might be okay. I'll go into a rook ending. This should be a draw, at the very least. I have a better pawn structure. And we're all equal material. This is the best that could happen. Let's fix that guy, and then we'll... That may have just exposed my king, though. Yeah, I think maybe I should not have done that. Maybe I want to put my king on... Yeah, let's go after this pawn. I think he's going to get stuck defending pawns now. I have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, I take it right now and get mated. Wouldn't that be annoying? So we're going to try to take it with the rook. But here. Okay. This is still probably a draw. Oh, I love the pawn. Oh, maybe that wasn't so smart. I got lucky. If I can, I'm going to cut off the king and play rook f7. If I can cut off the king, I think we have a Lucena position now. I think I can win this. Woohoo! This is definitely a winning rook in game now. We'll just repeat that process of advancing the pawn up. It doesn't even look like he's going to make a heart on me. Hey, we won. That's cool, considering we should not have. We were definitely worse, and we hung our queen accidentally, so that should not have been good. So, weird move. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to continue to play knight c3 here, but it looks like that there's a way to get into the Dutch Stonewall that isn't what I want to play here. So normally, if they give me an indication they're going to play the Dutch, I delay this knight and I put it on d2 instead of on c3. But going this way, I don't have a choice. So we went out like this, and I ended up with some problems here with this knight. So maybe I should have tried to do something to resolve that first. Maybe put the bishop there. No, because I wanted to put it out to f4. Maybe I should have done this knight h3 business I tried to do. Maybe I should have just played knight f3 and then put the bishop on b2 and then castled and played and eventually tried to play for f3 and e4 or have gone for the pawn pawns or playing at a3, b4, and whatnot over there. That probably would have been better than what happened. Then we got this. I didn't like takes because of takes, and then I have to do something with my queen, and then he's gonna win a pawn in that way. So after this, it seems pretty. He wins a pawn anyway. So I'm not sure which would have been better, but I definitely think that keeping this pawn is better than keeping that one. But after this, I think that I don't know if this was a smart decision or not, because I'm down material, and I'm also way down on the clock at this point also. So I thought maybe just open things up on his king and just hope for the best. I thought takes, and then the bishop takes, and I could swing the queen over maybe at some point, and I might be able to get something to go. I could maybe lift the rooks to e5 or e4, and I thought I might be able to play against his exposed king, and I thought that was better than dying a slow death on the queen side. So that's why I made that decision. And then we went here because I thought, but again, maybe. My other choice was to play knight f4, which knight f4 he can always just take. I take back. He would take here, and I don't think that is as nice. My bishop's actually a little bit better on h3, I think, than it was on g2 because it just hits up against these guys. He takes with the queen, which I did not really even consider. I chose not to trade queens. He comes up here, which I thought was I almost thought it hung I almost thought it hung the rook, but if I play here, he can either play king to f7, or he could just play rook g6. But if he plays rook g6, maybe I play queen e7. But then he could just play like queen e2 or something like that, and it would get kicked out. So maybe that's not such an amazing thing. We got this. I was just willing to give up the pawn. I just wanted to create some annoyance here, since after he took with the queen, he kind of kept the king side relatively close. So I think that was a good decision for him. But I did get some activity here. I thought that was he should not have played the queen out. He should have just put a rook on the 7th. So if he just puts a rook here, my queen leaves, and then everything holds for him. So I think that he really let me off the hook here when he let me win a pawn. And then this was a lot of fun, where I just hung the queen. So I guess he was more interested in winning a pawn than a queen, which I'm thankful for. But after here, I get pawns, and this should be, I think, a drawn rook ending. I played here because I wanted to fix this pawn in its place. But after he plays, he should probably play rook a8 here, and I'm going to have to hide if I want to get out of checks and still hold this pawn, I'm going to have to hide my king on h3. So, which I don't know if that's going to yield me anything or not. But instead, he played this, and he's almost, right now I can almost take that pawn. But this prevents me from being able to do so. But I just play here, and he really has to bring, I guess he can play king here. He plays king g6, then I play rook e7. He would have to play rook d6, and I would play rook e8, but he could just waste time on the 6th rank, and I could waste time between e. So I don't think that leads to a win for me. But I think this just puts his rook in the wrong place. Now he has to play king over to g6, otherwise he really will drop this pawn. I'm threatening to just take it with the king if I didn't want to. Check, and then I do take it. I think this was a little bit of a uncertain decision, because I thought he would play rook f4, or not rook f4, but just f4. And Yeah, this is pretty scary. I just have to put the rook on f7 and try and advance. If I get my pawns far enough advanced and then sack my rook for his pawn, I might still be able to win. But I also might not. So, not to mention that he can just take here with check. Yeah, he should just take here with check, and then I play rook g5 or king g5, and then he could blow by. That would be even better. But yeah, he's really forgiving in this game, and just leaves me a pawn up. Here he needs to play king f6. That's the move he absolutely needs to play right now. If he wants to hope for a draw, because he's got to get his king around in front of the pawn before I can cut it off. So after this, though, his king is just, well, I guess now he can play rook f3. He needs to play rook f3 then, right now, and he can stop me from cutting off his king. Although if he plays rook f3, I could play king e5 check, and then he moves his king. I could play then rook f5, and if he captures, I capture with the pawn. And what's that pawn ending look like? So we're thinking that if I have a pawn and king on the 5th rank, and he has a pawn on the 6th rank, is that? I think that's with him to move. He would play king f7, which should be a draw. So I think that draws if we do that. So maybe that doesn't work. Anyway, I think he still has rook f3 is his best shot now, but when he chooses not now, he's just lost. This is absolutely lost because of the Lucena position, which I will show real quick. So let's say he comes back, and I go here, and he's just going to check. Okay, well, right now his king is so far back, I can probably even just play this move. But actually, I can't make 2 moves in a row, though. So say he goes here, we get check, and then he really needs to, if he tries to advance, then again, I can come down here. But if he blocks that, then I come up to the 4th. And again, if he comes and approaches my king, I'll come back down to the 2nd rank. So if he just waits, we come out, he checks. You guys have all seen this 1,000 times before, I'm sure. Something like this. Check, and then we build a bridge. Anyhow, I got pretty lucky in that one, so I will take it. And thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.